Derek's mom and dad, Auntie Gail and Uncle Lloyd, and his sister Lisa and his brother Bobby. I'd like to thank everyone for being here at this celebration. My name is Remy Yamaguchi Hernandez. I'm Derek's cousin. And actually, if we're doing relationships, in the last few weeks of his life, I would tell Derek, we're BFFs, right? And it was funny because he would, right in front of me, tell other people that his dad was his best friend. Which I guess makes Uncle Lloyd and I best friends. Who knew, right? Who knew? You know, before we get started, I just wanted to say, I know that Derek would really want to say thank you to all of the friends and the family who have given his family such love and support over the last few weeks. So those of you that have sent food or called or sent a card or picked up the phone or helped out with the celebration, and there were a lot of people, it's meant the world to the Kurosakis. And they just can't say thank you enough. You know, the last few weeks have been there's been a lot of deep grief for me, and I don't know if it's the same for you, but when I feel that, just the sadness welling up in me, I generally think of I think of Derek memories, or I think of Derek isms. And when I think of Derek isms, it usually ends up in laughter, right? And the three categories of Derek isms usually are the impatience, the pacing back and forth, the irritation with what he would call stupid shit, which would end in most of you saying, D, calm down, it's cool. And the second category that generally lead me to laughter is just Derek was fun. That guy was either hungover, having too much fun, or trying to get you to have more fun so he could be hungover again. And then the third category is just his bravery. And I think that for those of you that saw him in the last year and a half, it was his fight and his grit were just really inspirational. So the next few speakers, we're gonna have some friends, we're gonna have some family come up. They'll talk a little bit more about memories, and I hope that we can all laugh. And really that's my hope for the rest of the time that we have together, that we can grieve, and we can laugh, and we can cry, and then we can party. And for those of you that think that they're all separate, I do hope that, I really hope that our tears can turn to laughter, and that our grief can turn to celebration. And for like the older generation who are wondering if that's appropriate, I would say that Auntie Gail, Uncle Lloyd, and Lisa thought a lot about what they wanted to do. And we really thought a celebration is exactly what this guy would want. And so I think that Derek's gonna give us permission. So if you feel like you wanna laugh till your belly hurts, or if you wanna share a memory of Derek that has the F word in it, that's okay. If we find you in the bathroom throwing up, it's what Derek would want. So with that, I would like to ask my brother, Ross Yamaguchi, who's Derek's older cousin, to come up and lead us in prayer and say a few memories.
Hello everyone. Like you here today, I feel like it's a little bit hard to put to words how we feel and all the emotions that go into something like this today. So I'm going to start us off with a word of prayer. Father in heaven, you're our creator, you're the author of life, and we know that the life you grant us is a precious gift. And we come today to celebrate and most of all appreciate a life that was so precious to us. And as we mourn that Derek's no longer with us here, we're aching from a void that's been opened in our hearts. We lift up our sadness and grief and pain, but also the love and memories that we have with him. And Lord, we ask that you would comfort us, not only now, but into the future. And bring us some of the joy that's poured out from today through Derek's heart and through your gentle healing mercies as we gather. And we pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. So welcome. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ross Yamaguchi, also known as Rossi to all the family and clan. I'm the older cousin of Derek and have been that way, whether he liked it or not, throughout his life. And with being older, I had the privilege of seeing Dee get to grow up in the family setting and in functions. You know, sometimes going on vacations to Mammoth for fishing and for skiing. Friday nights playing tennis in Cerritos High, shagging balls or hitting the tennis balls off the wall. And years of holiday and birthday celebrations with all of our cousins and family. But really, I think I got to know Dee kind of a lot better when myself and Todd Marcom, who's over here, got to coach him and some of the other guys who are in this room in junior high school in basketball. And we got to see him hit some three-pointers and play some tough defense. And that eventually turned in, as he got older, to getting technical fouls for cursing and chewing out refs. As a matter of fact, you know, Derek kind of being feisty, at one of the games that we played in OCSA, there was a bad call made, and as usual, he started out, you know, chewing out the ref in form and fashion. But then he migrated over to this scorekeeper who I think the girl may have been 18 and probably 100 pounds. She must have said something that sparked him off. And he chewed into her and let loose. And I think, you know, by the time it ended, it was technical fouls, ejections from the games, and I think our captain got calls from the league saying that, okay, he's got to be dealt with, otherwise he's gone. Now, that's classic Dee. You know, as he matured and entered into the stage of, I got to figure out what I'm going to do in life, I got to be part of his actual initiation and interview process for his first job. That involved getting beyond the liquor store that he worked in and into a higher pressure, fast-paced, constant action, multifaceted, problem-solving kind of job, who was actually employed by my former boss, who was, by the way, a yeller too. But this type of constant action and, you know, fast-paced environment kind of suit Dee to a T. We know that Dee smoked and obviously paced, and probably because he had too much pent-up anxiousness or brain activity from what was going on in his mind. And Dee, I hope you can hear me now. I hope you're not pacing around up there. But how can I best describe Dee? You know, I'm thinking about it, you know, two characteristics kind of jump out at me, and I picked those two. The first one is, you know, obviously that he's a fighter. He fought through being the younger brother his entire life. He fought fiercely in every game or competition that he had and that he played in, and he even tried to fight me once for pulling him out of the game where he started chewing out a ref. Like, he got in my face and, you know, started cursing me out, and I was like, "Yo, wait a minute, I'm on your side. You gotta calm down." Put that to rest. But he clearly fought the cancer, and throughout that battle, he committed to fight with every ounce and pound in his body. But with Derek, the second and most treasured kind of characteristic or attribute, I would say, was his tender heart. And the best way we know a person's heart is really through those he's closest with. And so I want to ask you guys a hard question, because what do you think your last words would be if you knew they'd be your last? You know, I may not have the exact words from Dee pinpointed, but when I went over this with my sister, who sat and talked with me a lot in the last few months, we wanted to share an expression of Dee's heart on what he probably would have said to those who were with him before he went to be with God. And so if you'll please allow me this latitude of expression. Mom and Dad, you know that I'll be with you, will not be with you anymore. And this is better than the months of uncertainty which you have been through with me already. As a family, we were sometimes afraid of our feelings. But cancer has uncovered unsuspected layers of affection beneath the crust and opened up a wave of emotions and depth that I never would have imagined for us. There are a few things I want to make sure you know. I've tried to let you know in our talks before, but you must embrace and hold on to my gratitude and deepest appreciation for the nurture that you've provided to me. Both Dad, sternly, and Mom, naggingly, but most of all, tenderly, that through your reminders, through every bit of my life, has kept me in line and on course to be who I am. I need to thank you both for what you've done for me personally. Nothing has been too much trouble. Well, almost nothing. And I've appreciated this to the fullest, even though I know there were times when I haven't told you or haven't been able to show it. Most of all, I want you to know that your compassion and love to me, through your tender hugs and kisses and time we had from when I arrived in your arms as your baby boy, to most recently when I lay at home or in the hospital as your grown son, have all been part of your gift of bundled love and sacrifices for me that will carry on through eternity. Mom, I want you to know that your deep desire and hopes for me were all fulfilled in my life, and I leave you with no regrets. And Dad, you have become my closest friend and personal caretaker when I deeply needed you the most. Your combined love has burned deep into my soul, and I want you both to be able to keep my heartfelt love and gratitude in your hearts forever. I love you both so very much. My sis and Bobby. Wouldn't ask for any other sis than you, Lisa. We both know it ain't easy following your footsteps, so I chose not to. You've always been there to pave the way for me, but this time, I'll go before you to pave the way in return. But couldn't have asked for anyone who could have loved me more than you. And we both know how well I scored with the brother-in-law and Bobby. Take care of Mom and Dad for me, and you know how much I love you both. Kaylee, may you remember your Uncle Derek as one who adored your smile and touch as you showered me with your tender cards and massages when I didn't feel so good. You are a sparkle in my eye, and I know you'll brighten many more people's hearts and lives as you grow up, just as you have done with me. You'll always be with me, and I'll always be watching over you. I love you. Bryce, I'm a little bit sad that I'm going to miss so many of your ball games, bud. We'll have to watch from above. And we'll miss much of the fun times as you grow up. But know that I'll always be cheering and looking out for you. I hope you'll always remember how proud I am to be your uncle. Grow up to be strong and yet tender in heart, just like your grandpa. And at least I can always remember you as being shorter than me. Even though that may not last too long. I love you. And Alex, for you, my little nephew, you may be kindred spirit to me as you grow up. Not sure if that's a good or tough thing, but either way, it will be a blast for you. Remember, if you need someone watching over you, I'm your best bet, buddy. I will always love you, and you're going to have a Dodger dog for me every time you go to a game, okay? Promise. I know you'll be one to explore the world and take that infectious smile with you. I love you. To all of you, remember that every time you're thinking of me, I'm thinking of you too. The Revelations 21:4 says, He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. And neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for the former things have passed away. Yo, my cuz, you're in God's good hands now. We'll all miss you, and we love you.
All right, well, that was a tearjerker. Next, I'd like to invite up a really special guest. A lot of us don't know Derek as a worker, and so I'm grateful that Elaine White, Derek's boss, is going to come up here and share some memories. Elaine.
Hi everyone, I'm Elaine White, and I met Derek first almost 9 years ago, and the first thing that drew us towards him was really his enthusiasm for everything, his love of life, his positive attitude, and so we've been blessed to have him as part of our work family for the past 9 years. I think that everything that Ross said a little bit earlier, Remy said, is really what hits home to us. I used to tease Derek about living vicariously through him because he would come to work, be tired after a great weekend of partying with his friends and family. And that just made him special. You knew when Derek was in the office because you could hear his laughter down the hallways, his enthusiasm, his impatience for getting new things done and working with people. So he was just a great person to have around, and we just all will miss his positive energy and his inner strength that he really showed over the past year. So the impact that Derek made to all our lives is what you see here, with all of you being here, so he will definitely be missed.
All right, let's go ahead and pull up the computer. So in the last 2 weeks, Derek, one of his last wishes was that he go to a Dodger game, and we couldn't make that happen. So we said, you know what, we're bringing the Dodger game to you. And so it was, for those of you that were there, it was a spectacular night that ended in a walk-off home run by Puig. And so Philip Asombrado captured really the essence on video. So here we go.
Hey Derek, this is Dave Roberts here at Marlins Park, and I just want to let you know that we're thinking about you, and you're in our prayers, and I know you're fighting for your life right now, and my heart and thoughts and prayers go out to you, your family, and I just want to thank you so much for all your support of the Dodgers. And I can promise you one thing is tonight I'm going to be thinking about you all night during the game, dedicating this game to you specifically, and we're going to try to get a win for you. All right, my friend, you take care of yourself. We're thinking about you. Love you. God bless, my friend. Take care, Derek. Bye-bye.
Root for the Dodgers! outside. Santa Ana winds blowing hot from the north. We were born to ride. Roll down the window, put down the top. Crank up the Beach Boys, baby. Don't let the music stop. We gonna ride it till we just can't ride it no more.
And I can promise you one thing is tonight I'm going to be thinking about you all night during the game, dedicating this game to you specifically, and we're going to try to get a win for you, all right, my friend?
Like another perfect day. I love LA.
That was a good night, obviously. All right, next I'd like to welcome up Derek's younger cousin. And this is the guy that he called on when he needed a little bit of positive energy. And Jason Schultz always delivered.
All right, hi everyone. I'm Jason Schultz, Derek's younger cousin. And for most of you who really knew the Derek that I knew, he was one of the most passionate, energetic, and warm people I have ever met. As far as I can remember, Derek has been my mentor, but also he's been the older brother that I have never had. I want to do my hair the same as Derek. I want to dress the same as Derek. I like the same activities as Derek. I even went as far as to went to the same college as Derek. Go Trojans. That's how much I wanted to be like Derek. But I will say the one thing that I just could not do as well as Derek was his ability to do math at lightning speeds. I mean, it was just absolutely crazy how quickly he can do math. It was like he was a Rain Man or something, just naturally, this unbelievable ability to understand mathematics. Even last year, when we would have our annual family cooking competition during Christmas, we had teamed up and we were trying to scale a recipe. It was one of our Nana's recipes, and we were scaling it so everyone can be fed. And being Dee, the natural human calculator that he is, and through his precision and his attention to detail, we won that competition that year. And I will have to remind all you cousins out there that we are still the undisputed champions of the cook-off competition. But this year, bro, we are still cooking together. Even though you're not here in your body, you will certainly be here in spirit. Another incredible element that made Derek was his unbelievable ability to just party. It was awesome. He was always down to socialize, even during the most difficult moments of his chemotherapy. I mean, he was heading out to Vegas. He was going to ball games. He even went up to Mammoth to the high altitude to go fishing on one of his first rounds of chemotherapy. It just really blew my mind. Derek always was willing to share his happiness and experience with his closest people, no matter how tough things got. He was actually the first one who introduced me to electronic music. And actually, his favorite artist is Cascade, and that was the artist that we just heard on the projection. And that changed my whole perspective on people, community, sounds, and also love for friends too. And he always had this ability to change my perspective on experience and open my mind, but also my heart to these new experiences, and he still does that today. Dee, I must say, in your lifetime, you have touched so many lives. Seeing all your friends at your birthday party, and dang, bro, you have a lot of friends. It's crazy. Look around, it's just incredible. And after you were released from the hospital for your birthday, it really put into perspective the type of positive impact that you had on the people that were closest to you. You fought a crazy battle, bro, and you certainly defined my definition of what it is to be brave. to be relentless, and to be strong. Through incredible, compassionate family and friends like Ross, Rem, Kel, and through friends like Taryn, Leanne, Denise, Michelle, and Josh performing Jode, and words of comfort and hope from new friends like Alex, they all showed you and me how to walk a path of faith, how to walk a path of love, and how to walk a path of hope. You left an incredible and amazing legacy for Kay, Brycey, and Al. And that legacy is the one, be generous and kind. 2, be passionate at what you do. And 3, make a boatload of friends. And 4, love the game. But I will say, maybe you don't have to yell and cuss at the ref like you're on the team. So I just want to say this, D, I love you, and we will always love you. Even on his last moment on this earth, when he passed with a smile on his face, I know that he was telling me, Jay, you don't have to be afraid, and that also, I will never, ever really be too far away. Even today, I can still hear him encouraging, being, Jay, be positive. Don't worry, be positive. I can still hear him. And also from time to time, I can notice these little hints that he sends to me, be it a Cascade song at a club or whatnot. I know that he's there. And so I just want to let you know, bro, that I am listening and that I will always be listening. So Auntie Gail said it perfectly. Derek loved people. So let's celebrate Derek among family, friends, and especially a little bit of food and wine, beer and wine. And let's tell him that we'll miss him a lot and that we always will love him. I love you, Derek. God bless. Thank you.
Todd, and a lot of you in this room know Toddy and Derek. They grew up together. Oh boy. For those of you that don't know Toddy and Derek, Todd is Derek's cousin, and they're the same age.
And I did not want to be like Derek. Yeah, I mean, I've known Derek for 38 years, and pretty much from the get-go till about, I want to say high school, we were inseparable. We did everything together. We played ball together, we went to camp together, we got in trouble together. And like Rem said, it was always D and Toddy and D and Lenny and Squiggy, and you know, you hear all these whatever, but that's who we were. And then it just got real foggy after high school, right? And I went one way, and, you know, and Derek went like 5 different ways. And you know, and then we would meet up at like Thanksgiving, and it'd be like, "Yo, what's up?" And then we'd be like, "Dude," and be like, "Yeah." You know, you know, and that's just the way it was, and you know, it's he was my boy. You know, I mean, he was my cousin, sure, but you know, he was my boy, and we did a lot of things together, and so it was real fitting that I got to take a trip with him. Really, this time last year, he and I, we went to Vegas. There was a tournament out there, and so Derek and I decided to go. And we caught a flight out on a Thursday afternoon and whatnot. And I remember getting dropped off at the airport with him, and we were out in Long Beach, and we were just hanging out before we were going to board. And I was smoking, and he was vaping, and we were just kind of just catching up. And you know, you gotta remember at this time, I mean, I remember asking him like, "Yo, how you feeling?" And he was like, "Hey man, like I feel good." And so I said, "Cool, but And so I told him straight up, I said, look, I'm not gonna baby you, I'm not gonna ask you how you're doing, I'm not gonna, be like, hey, slow down, like, you do what you're gonna do, and we'll be fine. He's like, yeah, no problem, right? So that was the rule. So we get on the plane, 45, 50-minute flight or whatnot, and we're chopping it up, right? And he's like, yo, my Clippers, right? My Clippers are gonna do it this year, and I'm like, oh my goodness, right? So then I'm like, yo, no, it's my Knicks year, and he's like, oh my goodness, right? Like, you gotta be kidding me, the Knicks. And so we're just going back and forth, and we're talking about who we're gonna bet on. Everything about this Vegas trip. And then at some point during the flight, he looks at me and he goes, hey Toddy, are you good? And I go, yeah man, I'm good, right? He goes, because I know that, I know for a while. And I was like, yeah. And he's just like, so what have you been up to, right? And, and I was like, well, just kind of catching him up with how I was doing. And it was really cool, right? Because it was the first time that I think he really just kind of looked at me and was just like, hey, are you good? And so I started talking, I was like, yeah, everything's fine, and I'm getting to see my son, I spend time with my family, and I got my friends, and da-da-da-da. And literally, he wasn't looking at me at some point, and I was like, what? And he was like, damn it, Toddy, we're at the back of this line. It's gonna take us freaking forever to get off this plane. You want me to finish what I was saying? He was like, get your shit, let's go. So we get on the plane, right? And he's beelining it, right? He's beelining it to where you go and catch a cab. So he's like, Toddy, are we gonna catch a cab? Are we gonna do an Uber? Are we gonna take a shuttle? And I'm like, dude, we just got here, man. Thinking, right? He goes, I think it's cheaper to take a cab. Maybe not. Let me check my Uber, right? So I'm like, so then he sees a shuttle for like $8.95, right? So he's like, let's just jump on that. It's $20, we'll be fine. He talks the dude down to like $6, right? So we get on this shuttle, and all of a sudden it's making all these stops, right? Because everyone else has to take the shuttle too. And he's pissed, right? We gotta go like circus, and then we gotta go somewhere else, right? And I'm like, dude, relax, we just got here. It's Thursday, no one's even here, right? So finally, we get to our hotel, right? The Golden Gate. No? Okay, well. A lot of you guys know Main Street and Cal and all that stuff. But if you don't know about the Golden Gate, I'll tell you, it was like $18 a night. Right? So we check in, we throw our bags on the floor, and we're back downstairs within like 5 minutes, right? 20 minutes after that, we're broke. Broke. And I'm like, damn, I got no money, right? So then Derek goes, it's cool, the Bank of Bobby, right? Bobby's brother-in-law, it's coming up tomorrow, so we're good. I'm like, alright, cool, let's just keep playing there, right? And then throughout the night, he's like, let me get a cigarette, right? The lady's got cocktails, let me get a beer, let me get this. And I'm like, hey, I told him, dude, I wasn't about to baby this dude, right? So we end up crashing, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. An hour after that, he's like throwing up, right? Dehydrated. And so I think I had to find some store. I bought him some vitamin water or whatnot. And he knocked out and he was fine. And the next morning we woke up and we decided to go eat. And this is just classic Derek and Toddy, right? We get seated and the place is busy. Again, Golden Gate. It's popping out of Golden Gate. It takes forever for this waitress to come by, right? Forever. Meanwhile, we both notice that the people that were at our table before, the waitress didn't pick up the tip that was left, right? Oh, come on! Seriously. You guys, come on, right? Half of you guys know what's up, right? And so we both look at the 10 or whatever, and I was like, oh man, this lady hasn't picked up the tip yet. So D goes, dude, take it, let's bone out, right? So I'm like, I'm not taking it. He's like, I will. So he takes it, and we book it, right? And then we paid for McDonald's with it, and just ate there, right? So we realized we can't be doing that everywhere we go. And so what we ended up doing is we just ended up filtering towards where all our aunties and uncles were, right? Like lunch and dinner. So like, oh, Derek and Toddy are here. You guys want to go eat now? Oh! Why not? Sure. Right? So like free meals the whole night, right? And again, we're still broke, right? But you got to remember too, there, at one point, like, Derek went with me, you know, I wanted to go to a meeting out there, and like an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, and I told Derek, like, you don't have to go, and he was just like, no, I'll go, right? And I was like, all right, cool. So it was about a mile away, and I was like, well, we can Uber it, or we can walk it, you know what I mean? And it was like 115 degrees, and Dee's like, F it, let's walk it. All right. So we walked a mile to my meeting, right? And then he's like, how are we gonna get back? I was like, don't worry, dude, I got this. You know, I got this. So at some point in the meeting, I was like, yo, can we get a ride home? We're out of towners. And some dude, he was like an ex-pro wrestler, right? He was like, yeah, I'll take you guys back. I'm like, yeah, see, right? It's like, you know, that was part of the trip as well. And you know, again, we're blowing money, we're doing all these things, but it was probably one of the best trips I've ever had, just spending time with him and seeing him getting into all these different things and just losing money and winning money, right? I mean, that's, you guys know D, he'd be down and then he'd be up, and he put $10 on a 75 to 1 horse and he'd hit it, and he'd be like, what? And he was the best. I mean, my sister, I asked my sister, like, you know, how she was doing the other day, or, you know, shortly after he passed, and she was like, dude, that dude was one of a kind. And I was like, yeah, you know, he was absolutely one of a kind. And, you know, we left Golden Gate losers. We left Golden Gate with bed bugs. That room was damp. It was damp, and it was like at the end of the aisle, it was but that was like the best trip I've ever had, right? And it was with Dee, and it just reminded me of all the times that we spent when we were like 5 and like 9 and like 11, and just getting into things and trying to get things hooked up for us and trying to cheat the system and trying to find the shortcut and just partying, right? It was just, that's what it was with him. And so, yeah, you know, like, you know, you hear like, oh, he was so strong and he was, you know, inspirational and all these things. And yeah, he was all that, but you know, the dude was just D, right? Really? Was he really inspirational? I guess. Yeah, he was like, I mean, right here. But I'll end with this, right? Like the other day I was watching the news and someone passed away, and then the newscaster said, oh, and so-and-so passed away, surrounded by friends and family, right? And I remember hearing that, and I thought to myself, yeah, but he didn't pass away with like the Dodgers surrounded by him, and he didn't pass away with the next Dodger, you know, surrounded by him, and he didn't pass away with like DJs coming like from far away to like, you know, surround him. And so we were all fortunate. I know he was fortunate, and we're all gonna miss him. So I love you, D.
All right, that's Todd and Derek right there. All right, next we're gonna have the family slideshow.
So what happened to Uncle Derek?
Uncle Derek went to Stephen. He passed away and he went to the sky and he can watch TV in the sky. Yeah. Bye.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, oh, Willie, you done me, and you bet I felt it. I tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks, and now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my bestest, and nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some. I won't hesitate no more, no more. If I cannot wait, I'm yours. Well, open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. Look into your heart and you'll find love, love, love. Listen to the music of the moment, maybe sing with me. I love peaceful melody. It's your God-forsaken right to be loved.
Seems like yesterday we used to rock the show. I laced the track, you locked the flow. So far from hating on the block of dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seems to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, you're still a team. Through your family, I fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime, like they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give me anything to hear half a breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
I'm still all alone. How could have to go and leave my world so cold. Every day I see it as myself. How did I see someone whispers in my ear and says, you're not alone. I am here with you, though you're far away. I am here to stay. You're not alone. I am here with you, though you're far apart. You're always in my heart. You're not alone. Just the other night, I thought I heard you cry, asking me to come and hold you in my arms. I can hear your prayers, your burdens are there. First I need your hand.
My favorite memory of Uncle Derek was when Uncle Derek and I would root for the Cavs, Clippers, and Dodgers together. My favorite memory is when he practices basketball with me and we play horse and I win. And it was in baseball with me and he played basketball with me.
When we were putting that video together, I asked some of the people that were helping. I said, "Should we put subtitles over Big Al? Everyone can understand him." All right, next we have this person I only recently knew when Derek was really sick, but I think the word that comes to mind when I think about Taryn and Derek is trust. And she was really his go-to, especially when he was in the last few weeks. And she actually is his best friend.
All right, so top 10 or so. So I know some of you, or I don't know, some of you, like Derek, he was all about making lists. So, whether it be the pros and cons of things, I know when he was thinking about going to Vancouver with Ross, we made a pros and cons list. And sorry, this is all on work time. We did this through Google Chat. But, all the, pros and cons of places where we should go or what we should do. One of the big things is, he called me a whore, but what he really meant was a concert whore because he made a list of all the shows that I went to. So, him and I, we just go through a bunch of things. Sorry, teacher and me PowerPoint. Sorry, here we go. All right, so that was the backstory. Lou Gumby. So when we were in our apartment, Shannon and I, we lived together for 5 years, and it was pretty much, Derek was a roommate of ours as well. We come home from a club, we come home from somewhere else, but I had this blue Snuggie, and that was his. No one else would touch it, no one else would want to touch it, but he was on our couch, and that was him, our blue Gumby. Next, Mary and Jason. I'm sorry for the language, but I just gotta do it. He told me, you know what, Taryn, Mary and Jason, it saved your fucking life. Although now, Jason sucked all the fun fucking out of you. Yes, this is a picture of Jabba the Hutt. when I was pregnant with my first baby, I wore this SC hoodie, which didn't fit quite right. So since then, he called me Jabba. Jabba! Whenever I wear that sweater. So since then, I've passed my SE sweater to my sister Tori, and she's not Jabba. Next, Dainty Feet. I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever seen his feet, they're like the nicest. Like, he's never had a manicure or a pedicure, but they're the nicest feet. But they're really dainty, they're really small. And like, there's, our post up there. And two, like, what makes, I think, keep his feet so well is we know when you go to the beach, you usually wear slippers or sandals. He wears tennis shoes. So that's another fond memory of him. All right, so ruining his summer of 2013. So I was so excited, right? When you're pregnant, you're like, oh dear, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. It's like, you fucking ruined my summer. I was like, oh. So that was that. So one year we went to EDC, which is the Electronic Daisy Carnival, which I'm sure you'll see in the extra clip. But he wasn't feeling too well, so he was sitting on the side. And these, random people were on the side. They're like, hey dude, are you doing okay? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, would you like some water? And he's like, oh yeah, can I have some water? So they offered, their jug. They gave it to him. He sipped it, poured the shit all over his body and the floor. So when you returned the water to them, it was an empty jug. And the guy was like, are you fucking kidding me? And he's like, sorry dude, sorry. So that was the empty jug family, this is really, it's funny because his first round of chemo, he came with my family to Mammoth. He had to buy this hat. It was ridiculous. He was on a mission to buy this fishing hat, and I don't know why. I don't think he caught any fish, but yeah, but that was one of the things. But my family did embrace him as one of their own. The lottery. So one time we got to go from Gardena Bowl, and they have that lottery kiosk. So we're like, you know what? Let's just do it. So of course we bought a $30 ticket. Big winners. We won $1,000. And Uncle Lloyd, guess what? You'd be proud. He made me claim it. Moving cars. One night, we were just at my house, just a random night. I think everyone just came over. We were hanging out, and then we told Devo and Derek to come over, just to come and hang out, right? So they're on their way. We're like, oh guys, let's get them good. Everyone in my house moved their car outside the driveway. I think Shannon and Dale were over. They moved their car down the hall. There's probably about 5 or 6 cars that literally evacuated from my house. They come up to the door. No answer. They're like, dude, what the fuck? We can see them, we can hear them through the door, Devo and Derek. It's so funny. So they're like waiting, and they're like trying to call me. I'm not answering. And then maybe a few minutes later, we let Peyton open the door. But that was, you should have just seen them. The F-bombs all out of that. My goddaughter. So isn't she the cutest? The white one. Okay. Blonde hair, blue eyes, like the best. She's like the sweetest little thing. Derek, I have to read this. I'm gonna mess it up. Let me see. What did he say? Oh, sorry guys. Anyways, Derek, he loves kids. He loves playing with kids. He's really great with mine. But this one particular, we were eating at Islands, and she was sitting across from him. I don't know if he did the mad dog look or what he did to her. Tears pouring down her face. She could not see him. He had to move his seat to the side. And the last words for him is, that fucking bitch, she doesn't like me. Derek, right? So at his birthday party, I'm sorry guys for all the language. That's Derek. His welcome home birthday party, we threw him this big bash within 2-3 days. And his favorite DJ before was Miss Dust. So for some reason, I had her ex-boyfriend's phone number in my phone. So I texted him and said, hey, is Dust around? So surprisingly, she was, and she drove up from San Diego, and she, DJ'd his party, and it was like one of the best nights that he could ever have, hanging out with DJ Dust. The 9 p.m. curfew. So at my house, we called it headquarters, or even at the apartment. Like, this guy, we were like, hey, Derek, you gotta go at 9 o'clock. You just gotta go. And he would just stay there in his goose snuggie or in the corner and just sit there. So, we enforced this 9 p.m. curfew because he always overstayed his welcome, but he never got the hint. He sometimes just stayed the night. Will you be my bridesmaid? Derek, so 3 years ago, 4 years ago we got married. I don't know, who's counting? And then this one, oh God. I was like, Derek, if you could be a bridesmaid, would you be a bridesmaid? He's like, I'm not fucking wearing a dress. Really? That was all after the fact. But that's all he could think about was him, bridesmaid, wearing a dress. It's like, oh my God, that guy. But all in all, he's taught me loyalty. And regardless, to remain loyal to everybody, he was always loyal to me in everything he did. If I wanted to do something, he'd roll. If he wanted to do something, I'd roll. But all in all, he was just the best and loyal friend that one can have. Thank you.
So this next person, Derek spoke with such love and adoration for this person, and she just must be an angel because she was his roommate for many years.
Derek was our friend for 20 years and our roommate for 7 years. Although we are heartbroken and devastated by his passing, Dante and I are thankful for the time that we got to spend with him daily. Derek lived his life to the fullest every day and was passionate about everything in life, whether it was his family, his friends, sports, music, or anything else. When he got sick, even though his body weakened physically, he only got stronger spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. His love, his hope, and his positiveness was contagious, and it kept everyone around him strong throughout his battle. Derek didn't want to focus on his life ending. He wanted to celebrate the life that he had with everybody that loved him so much. To Derek, thank you for teaching me to like and to hate sports, making me listen to Paramore through the walls every day, and letting me pick teams in the draft by their mascots. I would miss all the fun that we had not doing anything at all, driving around looking for something to do, and watching endless hours of Lifetime and One Tree Hill. I'm happy that you are no longer in pain, and hope that you are pacing around, practicing your new cooking skills, and not having to fight anyone for the hot water in the mornings. You have left such an impact in this world. Because of you, we will all love more, treasure each other, and celebrate life. You were loved by so many people, and you will be missed dearly.
All right, so I've seen Mike's work. So Denise and Mike, from a friend's perspective, they have put together this Friends video.
The one thing Derek taught me was to always be myself.
My favorite thing about Derek is that we can spend hours doing nothing and still have fun.
He's pretty honest about things and he doesn't hold things back, so he gives you his honest opinion.
When I think about Derek, his sense of humor, me and him have known each other for 30 years, so we laugh the same, even up things. So that's what I think of Derek.
He was always down to do whatever it is that you wanted to do. Whether it was lame or whatever, you just ask him, let's go, you know, so.
And he just wanted to, have fun.
Always live life to the fullest, that's for sure.
We used to listen to EDM all night, after partying.
You love music and you love all types of music, no matter if it was Britney Spears.
Yeah, Derek.
Together a lot, so we do a lot of Newfound Glory shows. So we got invited to go film at one of their music videos, and we were able to see him.
One of Derek's favorite DJs was Cascade. He loved him a lot. I think we attended almost like every West Coast event that he ever played out here.
Well, what I'm gonna miss is his 1-2 step. We would practice in the living room, like awkward, like kind of off.
I think Derek is like pacing around all the time. Can't sit still, just always moving.
Stay still.
Pacing always.
Definitely crazy.
Opinionated, yelling.
Complaining.
Complainer.
We used to count his complaints, or if he would say something, we'd be like, complaint.
He has no filter when he speaks. His way of arguing is getting louder. And then he feels that he's louder than you, then it's happening.
When you hung out with Derek, you knew two things were going to happen. One, we'd have a really good time, and two, you'd fall asleep on you. I think the first time I ever went to a club with him, I think it was Miyagi's, and he was sleeping in the kitchen. He left in the kitchen.
Sleeping anywhere. You can sleep in chairs, that's a house.
And then he ended up passing out right in front of the big bass speakers.
We used to go to the UCLA USC games together. This is him before the game. We went to watch March Madness together. This is him sleeping in the bar. I fell asleep in my car. Pretty much every couch that I ever
He didn't have a shaver in his car.
Had an electric shaver that he walked around the house with, and he was constantly shaving, watching TV, or pacing around the house. He enjoyed being the center of attention.
Alright. So Derek has some hidden talents. There's two of them. One is he has the special ability to make a fist and fit it into his mouth. The second one was walking on his toenails.
Gross. He walks on the knuckles of his toes.
You're on the top of your lungs, have a car with the windows down. Going to Dixon, because he said he liked to yell at the surface. Because they sound like they're yelling.
He didn't believe that my birthday was on the same day as him. I had to bring out his lessons and be like, look, it's July 13th.
Favorite moment was at Mike and Denise's wedding where he got his face smashed by the elevator door.
It was insane. You would give him two numbers, no matter how long they were, and he would add them up like no tomorrow. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Another hidden talent up there is that he can bark like a dog.
He put on his Amy, which is the girl singer from the band Paramore,
My favorite thing about Derek is his passion for sports.
First thing I think about was sports, mainly the Super Bowl, because that was his thing.
So one of the things I remember I'm gonna miss about Derek a lot is his fantasy football skill.
Past 15 years or so, every single March Madness, it's definitely not gonna be the same.
We used to watch 10 until 2 in the morning because he used to get them all in the French Open.
closer to his tennis crew. And we're definitely going to miss him.
Derek brought a lot of different groups together. He definitely did.
And that's what I found about Derek, because he had so many different groups, but we all became interconnected somehow.
I think that Derek was negative on things like, sports or rival teams, or sometimes servers at a restaurant, complain, but he never complained about his friends. I feel like he always had good things to say about him.
I'll chill, my friend, and I'll tell you I'll see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Cheers.
As the light guides away, yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take always leads you home.
Love you, miss you.
Thanks for always being the life of our party.
I wish RIP man return if possible, because I miss you, brother.
You'll always be with us, man.
I miss you.
Be well, Derek.
Hey, this is Cascade. I recently learned about Derek from a friend of mine, and I learned that Derek was a person with a lot of passion for music and that he loved his family and friends. I hope that his attendance at some of my shows brought him closer to those people around him and the people that he loved. I hope the music uplifted him, and I hope that in his final days it brought him some peaceful moments. I love that today Derek's friends and family have come together to celebrate his life. I am honored to be a part of this celebration. Tonight I have a show in Vegas, and I will be playing a few of his favorite songs, and when I do that, I'll be thinking of him. Thank you.
Next, we have Derek's favorite girls. It's his niece, Kaylee Lou, and his cousin, Kellen Suzuki, and they're going to dance the hula.
Pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our plan as we go away. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe. I pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be your plan as we go away.
awesome. Okay, so last but not least, and for those of you that grew up with Lisa and Derek, you know how they fought. But, you know, in Derek's final moments, his final words, were, Lisa, I love you so much, and I am so proud of you. And those were his final words, and so it's only fitting that his sister is going to come up and finish.
On behalf of our family, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us today for Derek's Happy Hour celebration. We are truly touched by your love, and there's no words that can express how thankful we are to each and every one of you here today. This is truly an amazing celebration. It's amazing how many people are here, and we would like to thank all of our friends and family for helping put this together. A special thank you to Taryn and Leanne for organizing every single detail of this party. We know Derek is smiling with this true Derek style send-off. You two are his best friends, really more like sisters to him. Thanks Michelle and Josh for your creativity and artistic design on the trendy flyer and celebration thank you card. They both truly depict Derek's lifestyle. We'd also like to thank you and the entire Miyake family for providing weekly Jode support all throughout Derek's journey. I'd also like to thank Denise, Mike, Kyle, and Jenny for helping with all the details to make this such a special celebration. All of your organization, hard work, creativity have made this the most perfect send-off for Derek. Thank you to my mom's special friends for the wonderful display of delicious desserts. Thank you to our cousin Ross. He'd fly down from Vancouver every month to offer support, spiritual and moral support, and never leave his side when he was here. You have always been a big brother to Derek, someone he always looked up to and trusted. I'd like to thank Eric for bringing Dodger Stadium to Derek just a few days before he passed. It was an unbelievable night, and the special tribute from Dave Roberts was definitely the highlight. Derek was all smiles the entire night. Thank you, Auntie Chin and Auntie Ann. What would we do without you? You went with Derek to every single doctor's appointment for the past 18 months, offering so much support, not only for Derek, but for my mom and dad as well. You both have truly been second moms to Derek and I. We love you both. Remy, thanks for being the one Derek could rely on the last few weeks of his life. You have always been a big sister to him. Mom and Dad, I know Derek would want me to thank you too. The last 18 months, you have shown us the true meaning of unconditional love. You both made many sacrifices to take the best care of Derek physically and emotionally. Mom, you were the one Derek would confide in, even though you nagged him sometimes. And Dad, you became Derek's best friend. You both are the most amazing parents anyone could ask for. Thank you to all of our friends and family. All the meals, beautiful flowers, generous donations have really helped us through this extremely difficult time. All of the support you have given us through Derek's journey means the world to us. Whether through prayers, sending text messages, or visiting him at home or at the hospital, Derek felt the love from all of you here. A big thank you to the Big Brother crew. This is the reality show that Derek loved to watch. And all the friends and family who would spend hours with Derek, watching and analyzing a sports game, or giving him a massage. Derek is truly the most courageous person I know. The outpouring of love from his friends and family really gave him the strength and desire to fight on. He is truly an inspiration to us all. Derek, thank you for being the best brother and uncle to Kaylee, Bryce, and Alex. We'll miss you dearly, and we love you. Now, in celebration for Derek and all that he means to all of us, let's eat, drink, and party.
Shake me up.